Hey Stampers, it's Gaynor again, and it's another Q&A. I've had several questions. I've got them all written down. We'll go through them one at a time. The first person to ask me any questions, well, one was a little, can I show something? So yes, I will, and this one's for Teresa Rawson. Now, it's not my idea. It come from my beautiful friend Cindy's Paper Crafts. How to put permanent markers on your blocks so you can line up your red rubbers. Oh my gosh, it's stinking. And this one is faded because I do use bleach on my sprays, but I'm going to redo them. So the best thing you want to do is just find yourself, level your block right along one of the lines. If it's I normally do it down here because it's jet black and it's so easy to see how perfectly lined up it is. Then I take my skinny ruler. My Sharpie has run out. I went out and bought some permanent black inks, but these seem to spread, so I'm going to try it. And then what you want to do, I'm sorry for the head, but I hover over then, get my line, and then just pull back a millimetre, because you want to be able to get your pen in there. So place your fingers quite sturdily, making sure it's on that line, and then just stroke it across. These are not the best Sharpies in the world, but turn it around then. I generally put a couple of lines on, so that way, and 2 squares apart. So line it up and then pull back a fraction just so you can see the top of each line. Like I say, press in the centre and then set it to side, because look, that one's smudging, it's not dried properly yet. So they're not the best pen. I recommend a Sharpie, and if you can get a fine tip Sharpie, it's much better. I leave the alcohol markers, aren't they? So try even using your blend, the thin end. Let's grab another block. This one, my lines aren't too bad on this one. I'll just redo them. And let's see how we cope with the blend. So, just going to pop that on. Let me take the lid off this first, because these are permanent markers. Alcohol based, aren't they? I think. I don't know. Pull back a fraction. Make sure you can see your line there and there, and then just draw. A bit thin, that one is. Let me turn it over. You've got to be gentle though, because these nibs are quite soft. But I mean, photopolymer, it doesn't matter because you can line them up anyway, because you can see right through, but you can't see right through with red rubber. So hence the fact that we use a permanent marker to draw lines. Just going to turn that round. So just so you can, don't cover the line so when you're looking down you can't see it. Just pull back a little fraction so you can see the line and you know it's level. And then just draw your line. Oh, that one bleeds a lot. Let me just get a cloth. Let me see if it comes off actually, because they are alcohol markers. Well, no, they don't come off, but they bleed, so just be careful. Don't press on too hard. I can get that off easy now with this, you know, the Stampin' Up! New pad. Oh my gosh, watch this. Let me just wipe this. There's nothing coming off there now. It's dry. And it's permanent. Now let's rub it with this. And these are great for cleaning your blocks. Look at that. Even alcohol markers come off. Permanent marker comes off. Beautiful. I know it stains them. I know, I don't like that myself, but I'd sooner that be stained than my blocks. So let me just give that a quick dry on my trouser leg, because there's nothing on there. It's just that I want it dry. So we've got a clean block again. Let's start from scratch. Let me do it on there so you can see it better. I'm going to turn it round and have a thin line. Let me just clear my ruler as well. Get that permanent marker off my ruler. Oh, look at that pad now. It's, oh, the OCD's just kicked in. I'm thinking, I've got to bleach that pad, but no, trust me, you don't have to touch them. So, let's get my ruler dry and we'll start again. So there's no bleed line. So I've got a clean ruler, I've got a clean block, I've got it set on that line there. You could draw a permanent line on your grid paper if you wanted. So I always go 2 squares up. And then just check in. Oh, that's better. Just rub it across gently like that. And you've got your permanent line. And then go 2 squares up again. Making sure. And this was, like I say, my friend Cindy. I don't know where she got it from, whether it's her original idea, I don't know. I just saw her do it. I thought, oh my gosh, I've got to do that to my blocks. Because I'm the world's worst. I used to mount my things thinking everything was permanent and straight. Let me just grab a stamp set. Yeah, I've got my... Oh, but they're photopolymer. Let me grab a red rubber stamp. Cling, 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 cling. Right, here we go. And we want to keep the words straight, don't we? So what I do then, put it on whilst the lines are up. You could turn it over actually. You can line it up on your lines again and then just match that up so those words sit along on that bottom line. And let's just, oh, let me hide that now. Oh! But you can do it to round blocks, you can do it to square, oblong. It's just as long as you've got to put, with the round ones like these, line it up in the centre there and then draw. So flip this over. I counted the squares in between so I knew I'd got the right distance. I'm sorry about the head. But again, you can draw those again. And then I'll show you stamping. I'm just sorry about the head. And they do come off sometimes with washing your blocks and stuff like that because it depends on what you use. But just go back over them. But know that your blends are all permanent markers as well, so use those if you haven't got a Sharpie. So that's lined up. Look at that, it's lined up perfectly. Oh, you can't see it. Let me just move. I can because I'm looking over the top. But there you go. It's permanent now. And I know where the bang on centre is as well. So you can do it round, you can do it square, any shape you want. So there you go, my darling Teresa. Let me just prove to you that this lines up. And it's in the place I want. So let's grab a piece of scrap. Mento. And if you've got, you have to line your paper up along a line, obviously. Otherwise, when you put these lines down, I'm going to make sure my lines, I'm going to do it this end so I can judge those 2 lines. Now I'm looking down, those 2 lines are above my head. Oh, I need to come up because otherwise I won't stamp on the paper. Press down and it's straight as a die. Look at that. So that's how I put the lines on my blocks. Easy. Because I watched my friend do it. My gorgeous friend Cinders. Love her to bits. And yeah. So, I mean, that's not going to come off now with a general wipe because it's permanent. And so that's my first question out the way. There you go, my gorgeous girl. I did say I would do that for you. And then I can replace, like I say, with the photopolymer, I'd still try and line them up. And I still try and go with the lines, because there's nothing worse than thinking you've got it straight and when you haven't. So there's my lines blocked, my blocks lined up again. Every now and then I go and I wipe them clean and I replenish all the lines, but that is straight as it comes. But look at my hand. It's a mucky job, but someone's got to do it. But I think this is just ink. I always keep it. Well, I rinse my cloths in bleach though, and I never dry them out because you need to keep them damp. So they're good for cleaning your fingers as well in between jobs. You know, if you've got mucky fingers. So I keep my little, these are cheap. I get 2 huge packs, which gives me 6 of these. And so I get 2 packs for like $2.99 off eBay. They're just called car chamois. And they're like $2.99 for a pack of 2. So just cut them up into squares of 6. And then wash them in a bleach solution. A nice hot bleach, and then rinse them as best you can till there's no suds in hot water, and then but you still get that little bit of residue, so you can clean it. I mean, it's not come off permanent, beautifully, but it's stopped me from smearing that ink onto another project. So they're not only for me blocks, me cloths, I can clean my fingers, and they also get glue off your fingers in between projects as well. So there we go, my lovely angel. Let me cross you off. So I did say I'd do the show and tell first. Right, we've got the gorgeous Ali Rossiter and Polar the Dalmatian Fur Baby. Oh, that's her name. Oh, bless. Ali Rossiter and Polar the Dalmatian Fur Baby. That's her name on YouTube. She said, how long do I spend each day in my craft room? Ooh. Too much time. No, I love it. I have a really severe back problem, and I've got to have both my hips replaced, and along with a few other health issues. So the only chair in the house I can get comfortable on is my craft chair. Believe it or not, it's ergonomically designed, and if I'm sitting in it properly, I can literally stay in it all day and all night. But that's not fair on Mr. B. So what I do, I come in the morning, as soon as I wake up, I click refresh on everything. If I've got any notifications, I scan through them quickly. And if there's something I need answering, I just make sure that I keep that page open, run, and then I go downstairs. I don't run, but I go down the stairs then, I sit there, I have a cup of coffee. Well, sorry, I have 2 cups of coffee. We'll make sure the dogs are fed between us, and you know, we'll prep anything we need to do that day. I'll make lists, I'll pay bills, and then I come up here normally about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I stay here till 10 o'clock at night. It's my time to craft, and it's Mr. Boyce's time then to play on his game. I go back down then for tea, roughly between 5 and 6. Well, roughly about 5ish, so I can come back up at 6. So I'm up here in the afternoon for 3 hours. And then I go back down, we have tea. And then, you know, we make sure the pots are done and stuff like that. And then he's back on his game by 6, and I'm back up here at 6. And then what I do in the afternoon, I tend to prep any projects I need to film. Sometimes I can do 1, sometimes I can do 2. And I've known myself to do 3 or 4. And so I'll film them then in the evening, right up until 9 o'clock. So I'll do 3 hours of filming, and then I wait then for the premiere to come on. And I must admit, a couple of nights I have been late because I've been getting so carried away with myself. So I've been finishing at 9:15 just as the video's about to premiere, and I'm like, oh my god, and then I can't find the page, and you know. So yeah, I'm normally, if I had my way, I'd be up here at 1, and it's now about 1:30 now, but it's Saturday afternoon. I'll film till 2:30. I don't just film, I film, I upload, I have to then process and upload them to YouTube, add the pictures, edit the pictures, you know. It's not just wham bam, there you go, it's done. There's quite a good process to do it. But if you've got the time and patience, oh, I love it. And this is how I'm able to post every single day, because I make sure I post. I do premieres, so I can schedule all the ones I've pre-recorded. Because everyone said, oh, we're catching you live. The video's not actually live. I probably recorded it 2 weeks ago. But it's airing that night for the first time for everyone to watch. And everyone can join in with the chat. So the chat is live. The video is pre-recorded. I mean, I couldn't stop and talk to you and say hi unless I was doing a YouTube live video. Then I could see your comments coming. But I haven't got a camera for that. You need a web camera for that. Or something with a direct link that will... I'm not that... I am brilliant on computers. I just don't know all this technical stuff. You know, cameras, lights and all that lot. I'm rubbish when it comes to that. I just know my standard stuff. Film. Pity my camera won't pause, but I have to film. And if it battery dies, I have to then run it through a program where I can join the two videos together. Excuse me. Coffee. And then it will then push the two films together and then reproduce another one. So I delete the two separate ones, then I know I've got the full one, and I check it then to make sure the join is nice and smooth, and it's 99.9%. It's like you don't see much of you don't see a flicker. You just hear me say, sorry, my battery died to death. You don't see a jump in the film, because once I know the camera's going off, I stay as still as possible until it goes off. I take a deep breath, I swap over the cameras, and then I press the pause, because I've got pause here on my bar. See this stool here? This is the bar. So this is where my camera is and comes up to here. So I just literally try and keep my hands in the same place. Go like this, and then put my hands back where I can. So there's no jumpy bits, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I can spend a lot of time up here. And I've known me to sit up here from 1 o'clock till 10, so 9 hours some days, but normally about 7. So that answer, I'm just a long-winded person. I just like to explain everything to the T. I could say, okay, Ali asked me, how long do I spend in my craft room each day? 7 hours. And then move on to the next question, but you'd be thinking, well, what are you doing in them 7 hours? I'm just sitting on a chair. But because I run a Facebook group as well, we do sketches every week, so I have to then comment on all the photographs. I have to store the photographs then in the folder. Then I transfer them to the album in that room as well, and make sure everything's into. Then I keep a list of everyone who entered that week, you know, and the number of entries, because some people 4 cards, 2, 2, 2, 2. So this number down here is how many pictures. So Julia added 1 on the first day, and then Julia added another 1 there. And then Julia's added another 2 since. So I just click 4. So when I come to upload them onto the blog, then I will get all Julia's photos and then say, these are Julia's 4 photographs. So she's got 4. And then Lou's done 1. Sarah's done 1. In fact, Sarah has done 3 in total, because she's done 2 there and 1 there. Or she's done 2, I think. And I've just I put times 2. Carol Ann's done 2, Anne's done 2, Karen's done 2, Lynn's done 2. Most other people do 1. So instead of me looking and going, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the number down the side is to how many pictures there are at the end total. That's just my method to my madness. I keep all these because this was the first week of the draw again. So it's week 21, 22, 23 and 24. So when 22 comes along, I'll rip this out and start writing the list on the back with a tick. So if Julia posts next week, she'll be Julia, and if she's the first one, it'll be Julia 1 and a tick, because she entered this week. And then the week after, it'll be Julia, whatever number she is on the list, and it'll be 2 ticks, because she's entered 3 weeks for the 3rd week. Or is it, no, tell a lie, I put Julia next week and put 2 ticks, because it's twice she's entered. The following week then I'll do 3 ticks at the side, and then the following week I'll do 4 ticks at the side, because some people enter 3 times, or some people enter once, or some people enter twice in the whole of the 4 weeks. So then those with the 4 ticks get their name. In fact, those with the 4 ticks, I put them in my random phone picker then and pick a number, and whoever number comes out, if they've got 4 ticks, then they win that prize for that month. And then I rip out those, dispose of those, and then start all over again. So that's my little listing system as well. So that's how I keep them up. And she also asked what or who has given me inspiration to make albums. Well, I used to do them in school. Me and my sister would sit and do them in the house with my mum's old wallpaper. And when my niece had her baby about a year and a half, 18 months ago now, I thought, I'd done an album before that, but it was nothing major. You know, I hadn't mastered it perfectly. You know, there's a lot of work goes into an album. So I decided about 18 months ago that I wanted to make my niece's baby a gorgeous little album. So I sat and watched. I tell you, who gave me lots of inspiration was our gorgeous, oh my god, my head's gone. I can see her name and I can't say it. Oh, Steph. Sorry, Steph. Effie Ann Cards. She makes wonderful, wonderful albums. She was the first person I ever sat and watched make an album, and I was like, in awe of it, and I copied it. I tried to copy it to a T. I gave her all the credit, and I did the Winnie the Pooh album. Do you remember? I also did one beforehand, just using papers that Lola had chose, because she promised she would take it away because she'd had a Polaroid camera for Christmas and she was going to fill it with, and she hasn't done it, bless her soul. But the Winnie the Pooh one then I auctioned off, and that money went into the Cancer Research Challenge, which was brilliant because we raised, I think it went with postage for about £45. So by the time I posted it, there was like 30 quid. I know it's not a lot, but it was. I don't make money. I don't want to make money. I'm quite happy doing what I'm doing. But I wanted to donate. I didn't want to just give the album away. I wanted to raise a little bit of money so we could add it to the cards and also the charity itself. So we donated. So I donated that as well. And then I just really enjoyed making them. Then I watched a young lady called My Book of Memories, Frances. I can't think of her last name at the minute. Amazing. She literally told you what you needed. She sat there with everything you want, with a list, and I just sat and wrote everything down. This is before she went, everything's private now and you have to pay for PDFs and stuff like that. And I sat and made an album from start to finish with the lovely Frances, and I was in awe of what she'd done and the fact that I was able to recreate it with her, and it just sparked something in me, and I just really enjoy them. And then I was sent graphic 45 papers in a pocket letter swap and a loaded envelope swap by our gorgeous Donna Barrow. Oh, I love Donna, she's brilliant. And that really lit the fire. You know, I had that little ignition light was on because I was so enjoying making the albums. That then once I saw these graphic 45 papers off Donna, then I just lit up. And then I was on a mission to find these papers. I had to save up the money and buy these papers. And I've just had a ball. And I must admit, I get more views for my cards and 3D projects than I do on my albums. And it doesn't bother me. I don't care if only one person watches it. As long as I get that thumbs up and they say, oh my god, I enjoyed that. That's good enough for me. So yeah, it's the graphic 45 papers that Donna sent, and it was the watching of Steph, Effie Ann Cards and the lovely Frances that really sparked in me. And then I've been getting into watching the lovely Rosa Kelly and Diane, the Scrap Queen. She is such a joy to watch. So you don't copy them, you just pinch a little idea from there and a pinch a little idea from there, and then you meld it all together and make something of your own. And that's what I like, because not anyone can just sit there and go, boop, 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 done. Probably can, it's just that my brain don't comprehend like that. But yeah, they're the people that sparked me off to make albums, and I love them for it. Thank you so much. And always, if you do something, even if it's just a snippet from somewhere, always tell people where you got your inspiration from and give credit to where credit is due. Always. Don't just do something and say, oh, I saw this somewhere. if you saw it somewhere and someone's got their name on it, then you obviously saw it was from so-and-so. So mention that person, because it's not very nice to find somebody who's done your work and not even mentioned you, and you think, you know, what can you do? Alright, and another question off a couple of people actually. The gorgeous Kaylee and again Ali Rossiter. Do I set myself a budget each week or month for my craft supplies? And the answer is no. Me and Mr. Boys have our benefits and we have a pocket money, it's called, and we both have £30 each, and we can do what we want with it. He can do what he wants with his, and I can do whatever I want mine. I put mine away, and then I wait for things like the annual catalogue to come out, and I can store. And then I decided not to go to one stage in April, and I decided last November. So apart from my pocket money goes up, I said, can I put the £70 up as well that I would have spent going? And he went, whatever you would have spent going to on stage, put it in your little online savers. That way you got more money to spend when the catalogue comes out, because I get like this. Oh, I want everything when the catalogue comes out. So I put away the £70 to go to on stage. I put away the £60 fuel money. I put away the £40 to £60 for the hotel. I put away the food it cost us while we were there, you know, and snacks and all this lot, because we weren't going anyway. So that money I would have spent, I just tucked it all away. And then I sold a load of stamp sets that were old and knew I wouldn't use again. So all that went in there as well. So birthday money, Christmas money, I saved all that. So yeah, in a way I've got a little budget, because I get £120 a month to do whatever I want with. And I took it away and I took it away and I took it away. And this is how I know I can keep up with my quarter. You know, I've got to sell 100 CSVs every month for 3 months, which works out £90. So I know I'm covered, and I'm going to stay a demonstrator. Even though I don't sell to anybody else, I know I'm covering my tracks. So yes, in a way I have, but no, not really. And I'm one of these. If I can save a few pennies and we haven't got no bills that month, I'll sneak a bit extras and put it in my online savers. So I'm a bit of a naughty girl as well. Mr. Boyce don't mind. He says, as long as there's food on the table, as long as we've got whatever we want in the house and everything's paid for, sod it. He's like that. And we don't go anywhere. We used to go out for tea once a week, so that £30 a week we'd spend on tea, I put that away as well. So yes, so there's Ali's questions and the gorgeous Teresa. Now I've got, Carla's asked me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions in 2 separate things. So what I'll do, I'll answer all Carla's at the end. I've got a lovely a question of the lady called Rosemary Hung. And she says, what card stock do I use? Well, 90% of it is Stampin' Up. I love all the colours for matching. I don't think they're quite substantial enough, because I like a card to stand. I don't want to put a card on a mantelpiece and a bit of heat is going to curl the ends up and it's going to fall over every 5 minutes. I like a substantial card base. This is why 99.9% of the time you will see me use a 300 GSM card base. I know Stampin' Up do thick Whisper White, but you only get 24 sheets for the same price as 40 sheets of Whisper White. So I go to the range and I buy a pad of A3, which is double the size of A4. It's their wedding collection and it's lovely, and it's a smooth white, but it's pure brilliant white. And I cut it down, and out of the 50 sheets I can get 4 card bases. 4 card bases. So 50, I get 200 cards for £9.99. So if I want then to add colour, I add a layer of whichever colour the Stampin' Up. Say like I've got the Serene Essentials, is it? The new one that looks like painted flowers, and that's got like the new colour Pretty Peacock. Well, then I'll put a layer of Pretty Peacock on instead of having a Pretty Peacock base. Not only that will it save me having to do a white layer and then my DSP and then put white inside. I've already got the white inside. I've already got it there. So I'm using just a quarter sheet again of A4 as a card front, because I cut all my card fronts down to 3 7/8 by 5 5/8 because that gives me a 1/4 inch border all the way around. And then I can either choose to leave a 1/8 of a border and then add the DSP so you don't see much of the cardstock, or leave a 1/4 inch border so you see quite a lot of the cardstock. So that's how I add colour instead of using card bases. I have done in the past. I like to use paler ones for card bases because that way you don't have to add loads of white. Because the Whisper White's, I think it's £9 now, or £8.75 for 40 sheets. And it's beautiful. You cannot wish for better paper to stamp on. So I leave this for stamping on. And my sentiments and stuff like that. So I use this as a card base because it's more substantial than one of them. You can imagine that fold. Look how thin that is. To how thick that one is. This, I don't know what, they don't even tell you the weight of these. It's not on the packet. But I know this is 300 GSM. This is probably about 180. And I've had cards sent to me. They're lovely cards, beautiful. But they're very flimsy. You know, and you blow it and you just want, it'll be gone in the wind, if you know what I mean. So yes, I add colour with the layer. And then DSP or Whisper White. And I stamp myself my image. And then I don't have to add, say that was black cardstock now, I'd have to put another piece of white cardstock in there just for me to write a message. So I'm saving on card really. I'm a bit of a tight bum really. I'm one of these frugal crafters. I'm a bit of a scrimper, if you know what I mean. I like to, and I keep all my bits of white. I won't throw these away because I can get a sentiment on there, trim it down. You know, any little offcuts. If I want a small sentiment, I just use something out of my little scrap bin over there. But they go separate to all my other scraps. So let me just see if I've got a card front down here. Oh, there you go. Is that a card? There we go. There's a card. Say I wanted to add now this colour to the front of my card. I would add that on there for the splash of colour. I love a white border, see. And then I would, because it's the same size as these, I would just trim that down to either a small border, like so, or I'd cut it down and give myself a 1/4 inch, depending on how much of the cardstock I want to see. So I add my colour that way instead of having this colour folded in half as a base, because then I'd still have to add a layer, which would be white, then I'd still have to add DSP, and then I'd still have to put another piece of white inside the card. I know it all adds to the strength, but look at all that card you're using. So that's my method to my madness. I add my colour with layers. Very rare you'll see me do one of these and I'll go, right, this is Grapefruit Grove or Calypso Coral. Let's fold it in half and score it in the middle and then make a card out of it. Very rare. Very rare indeed. So that's how I save on my cardstock. And I go up, I buy Stampin' Up's Basic Black. I love it. That is absolutely gorgeous. But I also find that if I'm layering, it's only for layering. I won't use this for anything else. This is like 120 GSMs. It's cheap. But again, if you're just going to layer, and that's all you're going to see, don't waste your Stampin' Up black cardstock for that. Just layer it with some cheap black card. Trust me. If that's all you're going to see, no one's going to know. It's just so I can say, I want to say, I love my Stampin' Up cardstock. I have every single colour and I buy a whole pack. I don't buy these packs where you got 3 sheets of each. To me that just doesn't suffice because I make so many cards. It's different if you only make a few cards or you make 1 card a week. Then those multi-packs are a godsend. But apparently they're not going to be in the new catalogue. You've got to buy a full packet. So you're going to be looking around for somebody to share a pack with, or maybe somebody who's doing a card share, for you to get those 3 sheets of each in each pile. But I buy a full pack, and once I get down to 8 sheets, I buy another one. I never drop lower than 8 sheets, because it takes a week to come, and if I've done a lot of projects that week and I've only got 1 sheet left, I start to panic, because I get my OCD starts kicking in, and I like everything uniformed, and I like everything in order. I like start with my neutrals, and I've got to have it in the right colour order, and then I start with the subtles, and it's got to be in the right colour order, and then, you know, I'm regimental, if you know what I mean. So yes, that's the cardstock I use. And I also, the gorgeous Kaylee asked me, how do I decide what stamp sets and papers I want when I want to buy, especially from Stampin' Up. If I like the look of it, I'm having it all. Do you know, I'm not one of these. I know it's easy for me to say, because I do put that money aside all the time, and I don't buy often, but when I do, it's big orders, because I've saved and saved and saved and saved and saved. I mean, because I do videos, I need it there. I don't think I could say to you, right, next week I'm going to buy a stamp set, and then probably a week after that I'll make a card and I'll show you. It doesn't work like that for me, because I need it all there. I need to be able to go. I've got on my shelf that way all my current stamp sets, and then everyone that's riding over. But over there I've got another shelf, and all my brand new ones stay on there until I've done as many projects as I can, and then I put them over there with all my other ones in alphabetical order. And then, because I'm going to buy again in June, all the ones that are over there are going to get moved to there, so I can put all my new ones there, and then I can just go to the new ones, which are in alphabetical order, and I can just grab, I just literally walk up to the shelf, put everything in order, grab the first one, and I work my way through alphabetically most of the time. So yes, I'm quite regimental when it comes to keeping everything. I think it's because I used to be a secretary and a bookkeeper, and everything has to be chronologically ordered, and, you know, dates or alphabetical order. It's just been part of my life. And not only that, I'm like OCD, like I'm saying. So yes, I do that. And again, I've answered Kaylee's question on budget each month and each quarter. And she also asked me, do I watch anyone? Who do I watch on YouTube? Well, believe it or not, I don't get that much time to watch many people. I get my notifications from everyone I've subscribed to, and if it takes my fancy, the project they've pulled out, I'll have a go and have a nose if I've got a spare 5 minutes. But when I first joined, when I first started doing YouTube, I'd watch anyone and everyone, you know, because at the end of the day, I can watch somebody pull out a beautiful card and make it, and then they've sparked something in me to go and do something else with their, and I always give them credit, even though my card has nothing to do with theirs, but because there might have been a colour or there might have been a shape, and I think, oh, and you know, you twiddle off, and I don't even get to watch the end of the video then. I've paused, I've gone, because I have to do it there and then. I've gone and I've made what my creation, and then giving credit to that person because they gave me the idea, if you know what I mean. They gave me that colour choice, they gave me that shape, or they gave me that style, and then I go away, create something totally different, and then but still give that person credit. So yeah, these days I don't get a chance to watch many people because I film now and so much in front, because if I'm ever ill, I don't want, because I post every day, I don't want people to say, oh, I haven't seen Gaynor for 3 weeks. If I've been in hospital for 3 weeks, you still got something to watch for those 3 weeks, because I'm 3 weeks in front. I used to be 2. But I think to myself, because I am of getting to that stage where my hips will need replacing, so I will be in hospital for that, and I'm obviously not going to run up the stairs or come up the stairs and want to sit in a computer chair making cards until I'm recovered. So I'm budgeting for those, if you know what I mean. I'm filming for those. It's not because I want to be big-headed and say, oh, look, I've got 3 weeks down the line, blah, blah, blah. they're on there so you don't have to miss out while I'm recovering or on holiday. You know, I know people wouldn't mind if I went away for 2 weeks, but I would. I say to people, I produce something every day. I post every day. And then for me to go away for 2 weeks and not post anything, they'd be like, well, I thought you said post every day. And I know I could say, right, girls, I'm going on holiday. I'll post every day. I won't be able to do the premieres with you, though, but you can all go and chat, because I'll leave them on a premiere. I know they'd be well satisfied with that, knowing I'm enjoying myself and knowing they're going to get all that time together with everybody. They don't just come and talk to me. We're in there as a group. We're there as a family. And we are like brothers and sisters. We have the best laughs. We talk about food. We talk about family. We talk about everything. And these ladies have never met each other. Or, you know, Ian, he's never met none of us apart from me probably and a couple of others that go to on stage. But he's got to know a wide range of people, and so has my gorgeous Gloria and Carla and Catherine, Sandra, Anita, Cheryl, every one of you that come in every night. We've got Carol, we got loads of people. We've got Lynn, Leanne, Leonie, Roxanne. There's so many of us that come together that night, even if it's for 45 minutes or half an hour. They are communicating with other people from all over the world, and this is why I love doing the premieres, because we can have a chat, we go back later on and watch the video. It's not about the video, it's about that sense of community, being there together. And I know we're only typing on a keyboard and we're reading messages, but can you imagine if we didn't do the premieres? You'd sit in your bedroom with your little tablet, you'd watch the video, but what else would you do besides toddle off and make that card or make that project? This way, everyone is coming together, and it's like we're all hugging each other while the premiere's on. We're just that close to each other. We know things about each other. You know, we might not have even seen each other's faces, but we are so close. It's unreal. And I love every minute of it. And one of Carla's questions was, tell me about your family. Well, you're now my new family. All of you, every one of you that joins in and talks. And it's the same in group. We're so helpful. We're so friendly. We're so rewarding, if you know what I mean. We give people compliments. We make sure, and if someone doubts themselves, my girls and everyone in our group make sure that person feels a million times better about themselves. I've joined groups and you post something and you get like, which is lovely. But we get comments that lift your spirits. Everyone is just so kind. And this is why I'm on YouTube. I don't want 20 million subscribers. Yes, if you want to join. If you don't. And please, those people, if you ever give me a thumbs down, and a couple of ladies have done so, and tell me why, and they have done, I have way more respect for people that will tell me where I'm going wrong. I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. In fact, I hardly know anything. But what I do know is what I know and love. So this is what I share. But if I'm doing something where I could do it a little bit better, then tell me. I don't know if I'm not sparking your fire unless you tell me. So if you think, yeah, it's beautiful, and I get a lot of people saying, oh, why are you doing this? Why? I don't need you to do that for me, sweetness. If they want to criticise, let them. But they're doing it in a nice way, and they're not even criticising, they're just pointing things out. So, and then I don't like it when people say, oh, you shouldn't say this. No, they're entitled to their opinion, like I'm entitled to mine. So please, girls, if you see a thumbs down and a comment, please don't say anything to them person, because they've actually taken the situation by the reins. They've yolted the horse and said, whoa, stop, we need to tell you this. And then we go back on our journey. You know, it's solved that way. It's not solved by just going in, doing a thumbs down and not saying why. I'd love to know why, so I can straighten it out. It's either I get 3 thumbs down every day without fail, minimum 3. But they never tell me why. So I know why, but I'm not going into that. It's not very nice, and I wouldn't want to diss anybody. Well, I just wouldn't want to diss anybody at all. So, that, you're my chosen family. So, I'm just going to have another swig of this before it goes cold. We've got a couple of questions left, and then my family, Carla. I love my 2 younger sisters, and that's all I'm saying. I love everyone in my family, but, you know, there's a family, but that's another story. Maybe one day I'll tell you everything. But, oh, no, okay. Right, what's my favourite colour? Believe it or not, black. But look, I'm venturing out into colour. I've bought stripy t-shirts. And I'm loving it. Now, my all-time favourite colour is black. Only because when I was 23 stone, black clothes were my best friend. Or I thought they were. I thought I could hide behind black clothing, and you can't. If you're big, you're big. You know, that's it. Don't matter whether you wore bright yellow or bright orange. If you're a big lady, you're a big lady. And I've no disrespect for anyone who's large, but it was killing me. And I researched for 8 long years before I took the plunge and had a gastric bypass and a stomach staple. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have made... I wouldn't have lived to be 40. I was killing myself. And I wasn't a greedy person, never have been. You know, I'd have 2 meals a day and that would be it. I might have a little snack now and then. But when I ate, my plates would be like... They were like serving platters. And then I'd have half a loaf of bread with it as well. But that only did it twice a day. Only did it twice a day. What I ate in those 2 meals, or in twice a day, was enough to feed a family of 4 for 2 days. So yeah, no. I used to be a gymnast, see? And I could eat and eat and eat while I was doing gymnastics. And I was like stick thin. And no matter how many calories I was putting into my body, it was like never put an ounce on. Because I was constantly working out, constantly practicing and constantly just doing... I loved it so much. And then I had my appendix removed when I was 12, day after my 12th birthday. And I got a little bit scared about doing, you know, flips in case my scar snapped open. So I didn't do it for a while. And then when I tried to get back into it, I built up this phobia of doing cartwheels and back flips and stuff, where I thought my scar was going to burst open. So I hung up my my leotard, but I was still consuming those calories because I never felt hungry because I'd worked out so much. So I'd stopped all that exercise, and then it just piled on and piled on and piled on. And I never reduced the appetite to reduce the amount of exercise I was doing. You know, I've known, you see stick thin women and they do marathons or they do this, that and the other. They need the calories. They need it to keep their body fueled, to keep their energy up. Well, I was eating to keep my body fueled and the energy up and wasn't doing anything. So that's how I got big. So somebody's asked me also, my gorgeous Carla, how are the pooches? Because she'd said, oh, don't see them, because you were upstairs now, and you'd hear them tippy-toeing across my kitchen floor, and, you know, and you'd be going, go on, go in there now, you pet, or they'd little growl or a little scuffle across the you know, the floor in the kitchen, and sometimes I'd lift them up and show, and, you know, stuff like that. Well, we've got a new addition to the family. Her name is Missy. We had her 2 days ago, and I've known her since she was 7 weeks old. She's 2.5 now, and it's a friend of the family's dog. And he's, bless him, he's got a few mental health problems. And not only that, he likes to go out when he's got a big, huge, massive motorbike and an open-top car and stuff like that. But when the sun comes, he likes to just go. Drive and drive and drive and drive to clear his head, basically, bless him. And we used to sit her while he used to go out through the summer. And she's always been a part of our lives. And she cost him nearly £3,000. And I said, if you ever get rid of her, please give me 30. He said, if I was to get rid of it, you two are the only people I would let have her, because you know her and she loves you and you love her. And so a couple of days back, he has been going out so much and he feels so guilty about, he's been trying to get dog sit. We haven't seen him for a while, but he's trying to get dog sitters, and you know, he didn't want to leave her in the house on her own, and he'd give us a bell, and he said, sorry, I haven't been round for a while, but, and a second he said, would you, and I was like, yes. Before he could finish the sentence, yes. He said, well, take her for a couple of days, you know, see how she is, and I'll let you know, you know. And he come around, we had her the day before yesterday, and he come around yesterday, and I was up here filming and doing other things. And she was jumping up and he was smoothing, and he went, well, you're not my doggy anymore. And as soon as he, I was like, oh my gosh, she's mine. You know, she's ours. So yeah, I love her too. I've always loved that little dog. She's beautiful. I love all animals. If my favourite animal in the whole wide world is a sloth. People keep sending me pictures of them, and I love it, and cute little videos, and somebody found one on the road, so they got out the car and lifted it up and took it across the road. I'd have lifted it up, clutched it and taken it home. I'm sorry, but yeah. I've had as many as 14 animals in my house, ranging from lion-head rabbits, who are absolutely amazingly gorgeous creatures, very clean as well. You can train them to go in a litter tray. Cats. Salem, my cat is 20 years old. And still going strong, still rules the roost. He doesn't live with us anymore because when my daughter left to go back to cruise, she took him. She kept saying from a baby age, he's mine, you bought him for me. And I was like, no, I didn't. But she convinced me to let him go with her. So he's still going strong. He's a grumpy little, he's grumpy. And then after 5 minutes, he'll give you the shun because you haven't seen him for ages. And then when you do see him, he's like in your face and he's drooling all over you, and he's gorgeous. And he's a big black Tom, and he's absolutely amazing. Mr. Boyce and his drone. Unfortunately, Carla, he's no longer got his drone sweetness. He wanted some home security with CC, because we live on an end house and there's a big, massive car park inside of us. We have people fly tipping, and it's not very nice. And the council have had skips there, so it's even gotten worse. So Mr. Boyce has traded his drone in for high-tech home security. So not only to keep an eye on the house, but to keep an eye on the car park and to catch these people fly tipping, because it's a big criminal offence over here. It's disgusting. It causes rats. So he's traded that in, my darling. Right, anything else quickly? Let me just go through. Answers. Oh, Carla asked me about my bone folder. Do I like it better? Yes. It's thinner. It's a better grip for me. I can get it between, you know, it's anti-slip. It's mucky, it needs cleaning, but the silver gives a really, well, you've just seen me, I love it. It gives me a really smooth crease. Doesn't make the card shiny, and it's, I suppose, a cheaper version than the Teflon bone folder, but it needs cleaning because my hands are always covered in glue. But it's from Tonic Studio, and you can get them in blue and orange. So I think it was like £4.99 or £4.85, and the gorgeous Donna again. I love Donna. The lovely Donna Barrow sent me the link, so I went and bought one because she swears by it. But you know, you can use the side, you can use the back, but I think that leaves the shine. But use the metal tip, you don't get any shine. So yeah, I love it, and I like to burnish both sides of my card, because there's nothing worse when you put a card on a desk and it keeps flopping open. So yeah, burnish both sides, it keeps the card nice and flat. So there we go, I've answered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 questions tonight. Away! A little bit longer than last time, but yeah, keep them coming. If you want anything else answering, any project that you see do, or even this one, just put Q&A and then ask me the question, and I'll write them all down like I have here, ready for the next one. I want to do these at least once a fortnight, maybe once a month. So please do. Any questions, just put Q&A and then ask the question, put question mark, because I'm a bit thick. And I'd probably answer you. And if you don't put Q&A, I'd probably answer you there and then. You're like, that was meant for the Q&A. And yeah, if you're going to want me to do another one of these and you want me to answer your questions, please ask the question, then put for Q&A, and that would be brilliant, so I can just get them all jotted down. So, I hope I've covered everything, and like I'm saying, if you've got any more questions, please don't hesitate to ask. You can get me on YouTube, you can get me on Facebook, and you can also email me at gaynor.boys@sky.com. So I hope you've enjoyed. It's been quite educational. I would really appreciate if you want to subscribe to my channel so you can see what I do post on a daily basis. And I love and leave you all. Till next time. Love you all. Bye.